I'm Grace Wadford, and tonight we're going to talk about eating seasonally and locally, benefits of organic food, as well as we can protect our family farmers. And now to Kayla and Jordan.
Good evening, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Jordan.
When we commit to eating more local foods, we not only help the farmers of our region, we protect the foods and animals. Can you believe traditional foods are the healthiest for us?
Really? I never knew that.
Researchers now believe that a diet based on traditional foods is often healthier for us. So what can we do? Each of us can play a valuable part in making these changes. First, talk with your local restaurant or grocery store.
If your favorite restaurant does not provide any local, sustainable options, tell them you would like to see more. Chefs and owners usually appreciate customer feedback as well.
Secondly, eat seasonally.
Eating locally means that we need also to be reconnected with our seasons.
Third, protect endangered foods.
It is a good idea to include on our shopping list those foods from other nations or states that are endangered.
Fourth, fresh home-picked and homegrown foods are the best. And last but not least, learn where grocery store food comes from.
We need to build a connection with the food we eat. We are made up physically of what we eat and drink. We must begin to choose our food accordingly.
Thank you, Kayla and Jordan. And now we're going to talk to Era and Jordan, where we're going to talk about the benefits of organic foods.
Hello, this is Sarah.
And this is Jordan again.
If you have recently walked through your local supermarket, you will more than likely realize something that hasn't been seen in years. The amount of organic food that can be found on the shelves of every supermarket now is something more that has been seen in a while. This is all due to the high demand of organic foods because of all the benefits that come along with eating organic.
Unlike the many food fads that have come and gone, the demand for organic produce is likely not to go away. Due to the fact that there's a big desire for chemical-free food and an agriculture system that is in harmony with the environment that will help support the farmers around us. Organic foods should be here for good.
In 1990, consumers bought $1 million worth of organic foods and beverages. 12 years later, this number went to 11 billion. At this rate of growth, most of the food sold in the United States will be organic by the year 2020. And we see the same promising trend in Canada and Europe. On a separate note, organic farming could help stop global warming. The Rodale Institute calculated that America could comply with the Kyoto Treaty for a 7% reduction in greenhouse gases simply by switching over to organic foods.
It's not surprising then that more and more farmers are switching their crops to organic. In 1997, the U.S. had 1.2 million acres of land dedicated specifically to organic foods. Just 4 years later, in 2001, that number almost doubled to 2.3 million acres of land.
Even big businesses all over the United States are switching over to organic foods in hopes of improving profit. Paramount, one of the largest growers in California, has now increased their size to 300 acres where they are only producing organic food.
Indeed, all over the world, farmers are switching to organic foods just because it works better. Even animals agree organic tastes better. There's no systematic testing of animals choosing organic over non-organic, but there have been observations where animals have chosen organic foods over non-organic foods.
It has been observed in the Copenhagen Zoo that the chimpanzees have been choosing organic bananas over non-organic bananas. When given an organic banana, the chimpanzee will eat the whole thing without even peeling it, skin and all. When offered a non-organic banana, the chimpanzee will first peel the banana and eat just the inside and not the skin due to all of the pesticides that are on non-organic foods. You may be wondering what we can do to fully switch over to organic foods. Well, the first start would be to avoid pesticides and other chemicals that can be found on our foods. Unless you specifically go to the store and buy organic food, all of our food contains chemicals and other different residues. For example, the government has found that there is at least 7 different types of different chemical residues on non-organic lettuce.
So if one of your main reasons for buying organic is to reduce your exposure to farm chemicals, you may want to substitute organic for the produce that typically has the highest levels of chemical residue.
Consumer Reports and other public safety reports have found that the following fruits and vegetables contain very high chemical residues, and is most important that all of these fruits and vegetables must be bought organically. These include raspberries, apples, peaches, cantaloupes, cherries, celery, green beans, grapes and raisins, potatoes, spinach, tomatoes, winter squash, and strawberries.
As we said, children are especially vulnerable to the effects of pesticide residues, and we now have scientific evidence to prove what common sense already told us. Children and babies who are fed mostly organic foods have lower levels of pesticide residues in their bodies than children who are fed non-organic foods. So it is well worth the investment to go with organic foods.
If you have no other choice than to feed your child non-organic foods, then you can simply make a simple change to feeding them fruits and vegetables which have hard shells, skins, or peels, because it has been found that fruits and vegetables with soft skin contain more chemical residues than the ones with hard shells or skins or peels. It is also very important to remember that chemical residues can be passed on to an unborn child or to a born one through breastfeeding and the placenta, so it is very important for mothers who are pregnant or who are breastfeeding to follow the same guidelines to eating healthy.
And for our last segment, we're going to talk to Era and Jordan about how we can protect our family farmers.
Thanks again, Grace. This is Jordan once again.
And this is Sarah, and now we will be talking about how we can protect our family farmers.
Thanks to growing awareness among consumers and the fact that more and more are buying organic food, there's a chance for small family farms to survive. And some of them, despite difficulties, are determined to do just that.
One farmer in Virginia has recently gained a lot of fame for his very organic approach to farming. Joe Sal understands that growing food is a natural process and not a mechanical one. Therefore, he does his best to ensure that his farm represents this perfectly. He is mostly known for this new process that he has called pigeration, where he takes corn and hay and spreads it over the dung. This way, when the cattle is led into the pasture and the pigs are let out, they have already rooted through the dung and have replenished the ground in the most natural way possible, leading to a very organic farming.
Every time we buy locally grown food, we are helping small family farmers, such as Joe Sal.
There are many ways in which individuals or groups can make a difference. We can first start by saving land, buying from our local farmers, shopping at farmers markets. We can also become a shareholder in a farm, which could help out a lot, or we can also join a food co-op.
Thank you for listening to NBC News. This is Grace Watford.
And I'm Kayla Johnson.
And I'm Jordan Sanders.
And this is Sarah, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.